Sometimes we struggle with long division, so I'm going to do an additional long division problem, and then we'll go back and do the last one. All right, so long division. I'm going to take 3x minus 2 and put it on the outside and divide it into 6x to the third minus 16x squared plus 17x plus 6. All right. I'm going to look at these two terms. My thought process needs to be 3x times what will give me 6x to the third, which is the same as 6x to the third divided by 3x, which is 2x squared. So I'm going to put a 2x squared up top. I'm going to take that 2x squared, and I'm going to distribute it into the outside. 6x to the third minus 4x squared. Then I'm going to subtract. This is where people make mistakes. 6x to the third minus 6x to the third is 0. Negative 16x squared minus a negative 4x squared, I'm going to tell you is a negative 12x squared. Because I want to subtract a negative, so I add. So what we can also do to help ourselves out, I'm going to make this a positive, and I'm going to add the opposite. And that's where I get my negative 12x squared. All right, so I'm going to bring down the 17x. Negative 12x squared divided by my 3x on the outside is a negative 4x. So I put a negative 4x here, and then I distribute. Negative 12x squared plus 8x. I'm going to subtract, or add the opposite. And I'm going to get 0, which I have to get, plus 9x plus 6. Start over. 9x divided by 3x is plus 3. Distribute 9x minus 6. I subtract, or add the opposite, and I get a remainder of 12. I'm going to take that 12 and put it over what I divided by. And that's my solution. If you don't want to subtract because you're worried about getting messed up signs, add the opposite. All right, now back to this last one. All right, we're given this function and given two factors. We need to find the other two factors because this has 4. All right, we are not factoring this by hand unless you're really, 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 really good. All right, so what we're going to do is I have an x to the 4th and 2x's over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take those out, and it's going to leave behind an x squared statement that we're going to be able to factor. All right, so we're going to take each of these answers out individually and get it down to an x squared. So I'm going to take this first one. Do synthetic division with 5. Because this is a factor, we're given this as a factor, I better get a remainder of 0. If I don't, I messed up. Drop the 1, multiply, add down, multiply, add down, multiply, add down, and I get my remainder of 0. Now from here, I'm going to ignore the 0 now. I'm going to do synthetic division with a negative 4. I better get a remainder of 0. 1, negative 4, negative 3, 12, 2, negative 8, 0. I am good. This original line was my x to the 3rd. My first answer is my x squared. X to the 4th, because that's what I started with. My first answer is an x cubed. My final answer is an x squared. So this is the polynomial x squared minus 3x plus 2, which I can factor x minus, and it only breaks up into 2 and 1. My other two factors are x minus 2, x minus 1. If you don't get a 0 here and a 0 here, you're doing something wrong because it tells you these are factors. All right, hopefully that'll help you out. Make sure when you do your WebAssign, you do your work on your own paper and you just submit answers in the program. Have a great one.